Okay, so I have a question about how to get something like this, so just a wind-affected mesh in Kangaroo, into a panelized system, and so they're each being treated individually, sort of separating them out. Um, this guy is pretty straightforward, so just a surface to a mesh, and then getting the mesh edges. And the only thing that might be a little different is that I go in and this is a cluster that's getting the midpoint of each one of those curves and then sorting them, getting the naked edges and sorting them by either Z or Y, and then separating them out so I can get the top, the bottom, the left, and the right edges and use them for anchors or in the line stretch. So just doing that is all this is. And then once I do that, then I can decide which ones I want to use as anchor points and which ones I want to use to stretch. So this one I just use the top and the right. And then just sending all of that into the solver, and setting different things up. And that seems to work fine. I'm not having a problem with this test. What I'm having a problem with is when I try to apply it to a larger thing. And so if I come in here, and let's go ahead and start this guy. So it does fine when they're individual, but when they are right next to each other, the anchors lock them down, and I want each one of these to be able to move individually with the, with the solver forces. And so my question is, how do you do that? I'm having a problem figuring out how to do it. This setup is pretty much the same. So let me turn this off and let's go ahead and get rid of this. Get rid of this guy. All right. And then come over here. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I just have a big surface here, right? And then I split it with some lines. So I made some tweens and, and some vertical divisions, and then just split those guys. So into fragments. So let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. Right. And split that guy up into fragments. And then each one of those fragments, I did a simplified mesh of it. So if we take a look at that, right, it's just a simplified mesh. And then we refine the mesh, blah, 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 same old thing. And then I just wanted to get some random panels, so I made a random list based on the list length. And then sorted the overall naked edges and interior edges based on the random indices, either a tree branch or a get item from list, right? And then this goes through and does the same exact thing that other cluster did, which is it gets the midpoints of each one of those and then sorts it by Y or Z. And that allows me to come in and sort of get, either the top, right? Or if I come in here and, right, either the top, the bottom, the left, or the right, whichever one. And then I can decide which one of those become anchors, right? And then which one of those becomes stretch. Same thing, just on a larger scale. The only issue, which probably figured out if you know how to use this stuff already, is that once it goes through the solver and I start it, let's go ahead and turn on this guy so we can actually see what it's doing. All right. So it does fine on the ones that are alone, but when it gets all in one place, right, you can see this one is pinned there, this one's pinned there. And so what I want to be able to do is get them all to float individually. So if anybody has a quick fix for me, or if, I don't really want to have individual solvers for each one. That seems crazy, but any help would be appreciated. So I'll post the definition in the video. Thanks.